Hello guys, it's Vanessa Viljean and today I bring you another video. We're going to speak about healing. So Little Sims just dropped an album. I flipping love her. I appreciate the rawness, the depth and kind of like just the grit of her music. And one of the lyrics that stuck out in one of her songs was hurt people, but don't play with me. Because you see, quite often I've heard this sentence in response to an event where someone has been toxic or harmful to a person, and it's almost been used as a justification. One that we can't completely dismiss because it's true, you know, if someone's been through trauma, that can affect the way that they perceive the world around them and connect with people. However, it is by no means an excuse to then pass on your hurt. And it's like this year I've learned so much about healing. So what we'll be discussing in this video is, why is it important to heal? Why is it important to heal? It does not take too long to realize that a lot of people are hurting and broken in this world. There's many catastrophes going on. There's things affecting our financial living situations. There are people who are homeless, people who've been through sexual assault, people struggling with disabilities, people struggling with all sorts. You know, there are many trials and tribulations we face in this world, and it's part of the human experience. No human will live a life without suffering. That is one thing that we need to accept. In this life, we will go through suffering. Now, this suffering may be relative. For some people, this may look like they can't even eat or they can't even access YouTube as you're privileged enough to do so now. For some people, it may be more, again, relative. They may be struggling with self-esteem as a result of being bullied in class. These all can potentially come under the umbrella of suffering, and these are things that affect our neurology, the way that we experience our lives. So why I think this is such an important topic to address is that healing becomes a sieve almost. You sieve out the pain and the hurt that you've been through in this life to an extent that it no longer defines who you are. So for me, I was sexually assaulted when I was in my childhood, and also had a couple of instances where that occurred in my adulthood. And as a response, I turned to hypersexuality. So when a victim has been through sexual abuse, there are two typical responses: hypersexuality, which means being hypersexual, doing a lot of sexual things with multiple sexual partners, for example, one after the other, or kind of avoidance, which is avoiding, like, being scared of someone who resembles your perpetrator, or just, it looks different for anyone. But for me, it was hypersexuality. And what I didn't realize is that at the age of 14, I lost my virginity, and that's when the hypersexuality started. It was one after one after one after one after one after one. And by the time I started healing, like, yeah, I started actively seeking healing, it was 2020. And I was able to sit down and realize that, oh my goodness, my act of having sex or doing sexual acts wasn't part of my personality per se, but it was coming out from experiences of pain and trauma that I had not dealt with. And obviously this had effects on my well-being. I would always speak about the fact that I felt damaged the more and more I slept with people. I felt like people just used me for my body, and this was really devastating for me because I actually desired one partner who would love me beyond that, but the trauma and pain shaped me in a way that I was acting in a way that didn't correspond with my morality at the time, or even my higher ideal. And when I chose the avenue of healing, it was like, one by one, these behaviors, these thinking patterns that I had about myself, I was able to strip them away. And as much as I'd victimized myself in that place, having gone through abuse and ending up with a high body count, I came to a place where I had to acknowledge my own role in the suffering that I'd been through. And this is why I say healing is so important, because it gives you a critical mirror almost. Like, you acknowledge the pain and abuse that's been done to you, but also the way it's shaped you and how you could hurt other people too in that process of, I don't know, living out that pain, or having not dealt with it healthily. So I think healing is important because it's progressive, right? It's progressive for yourself, it's progressive for those who you connect with. There are things that we carry that aren't exactly fruitful. There are behaviors and practices that we indulge in that are just easy and that have become comfortable, that aren't actually in alignment with who we are and who we want to be in the future. And that's why I think it's important to heal. I always say that there are environments that we keep ourselves in out of comfort. Not that they're necessarily good for us, but because that's what we're used to. But healing expands our realm of experience into something more positive, something more progressive, something that doesn't have to look like the past few generations. So I think it's important to heal because healing is a stripping away of pain, abuse, trauma, in order to step into something new for yourself and others around you. It's been your favorite vigilant butterfly, your favorite butterfly. I think that's my ending. I hope this provokes some thinking. Thank you. Bye.